Okay. Um, well, I was broadcasting. I was apparently just talking to myself for about 30 seconds or so when I realized, oh, on my OBS, I didn't say stream. I didn't say start streaming, whatever the button is. I said preview stream. So I was just talking to myself for a good minute or so there while I uh, uh, did very little. It was annoying. But now I have to repeat myself. But what I said is as much fun as I was having in the Unity in the building building this what did I just do? Oh, there it is. Building the Unity. Uh, I realized this first book that I was writing in it is purely from the perspective of humans. Um, all this that I have. Um, I realized that I was having more fun doing this, like this purely human perspective uh, series. So I decided I'm going to roll with that. I decided that I'm going to from now, or maybe not from now on, but at the very least, right now, set aside my Unity work and tweak it a little bit. I haven't deleted anything in here. I've just simply created a new folder here for the new series simply called Coalition, which is like the Unity, but it's kind. Or I don't know why I opened that, but it's kind of like uh, it's the same basic idea minus the aliens. So I there's no reason I can't write both. It's I assume I can only publish one of them, but I see no reason why I can't just have fun and write both of them. So I'm going to do that now. Make a codex here. Um, I came up with this idea while I was away from the house, and I didn't have anything to write my stuff down on, so I'm going to have to go from memory here. Going to make a folder for characters, locations. I want this to be a pretty militaristic setting, something also akin to, again, kind of akin to Halo or Call of Duty, but with no aliens. So, ships, because it's going to be really militaristic. There's going to be lots of warships. I'm not even going to worry too much right now about just any particular storyline. I'm just going to come up with a universe as a whole, and actually, I guess I should make one more. Factions. I'm going to come up with a universe as a whole, and just work from there. Come up with something in that universe to write about. Factions. Let's see. The Coalition. Maybe I should even call this the Alliance. Alliance of Earth Nations. Instead of the Coalition, I'm going to call this the Alliance. I may even uh, uh, I may even rename it after this. Instead of just Alliance of Earth Nations, I may call it like oh, maybe just even Alliance of Earth. Whatever. But for now, I'm going to stick with that. Do I have any? Yeah, okay, that was the last thing I copied and pasted. That's good. Alliance of Earth Nations. I'm not gonna go into super detail about its history and all that. I'm just gonna create that there simply is an alliance of Earth nations. Um, Apex is kind of like the Axis powers of World War II. Just the futuristic version of them. Oops. And then what was it? Oh yeah, here's Lodestone. This is actually something I borrowed from an earlier work, Lodestone here. Lodestone is a privately or I don't know if that would be capitalized, but private military corporation. That's what Lodestone is. The Apex powers, as opposed to the Axis powers, and the Alliance of Earth Nations. Again, I'll tweak that name later if I feel like I need to. That's really all that's necessary for the factions. Locations. I'll come up with that later. Like as a location becomes relevant, I'll come up with it. Let me see what I have in the Unity here. Codex. I'm actually going to duplicate this technology and put that into the coalition. I'm going to go through here right now and remove what everything that's not needed. Faster than light travel. I don't think there's even need for a just the effect of a weapons category. Firearms and so on and so on. Maybe even. Oh wait. Oops. I'm just simplifying this whole process. Firearms. I'm not sure if anyone can hear. I'm not sure how clearly, if at all, that damn dog barking down the street's coming through on the audio. I hope no one can hear that. Rifles, handguns, not hands, handguns, and so on and so on. mounted. Rail guns. Just again, I'm just kind of creating the ability to come up with this stuff later. Weapons and such. Faster than light travel. Oops. Both of these I can just do away with those. Artificial gravity, artificial intelligence. I may or may not do some of these. Holograms, teleportation, cloaking, shields. Okay. Ships. So there's Alliance ships, or just Alliance. One for Apex. I may even put one for Lodestone. I'll come up, like, maybe my working theory for that is Lodestone has like this contract that with the Alliance, or even both Alliance and Apex, where when they have a ship that they are decommissioning or something, then Lodestone gets to can buy it from them. Again, I'll probably come up with individual characters later. Something I am going to do, that I don't know why I deleted the last one now, but here's one for Alliance characters, here's one for Apex, and Lodestone. In fact, this may be a bit tedious, but I'm going to go ahead and Army, the Alliance Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, government, intelligence, like an intelligence agency. Let's get this a name actually. No, what sounds like an intelligence agency? Hold on, like some kind of top secret, super, like the CIA wishes they could be these guys. Information and no. Yeah, here, information and intelligence. Agency. I'll just leave it at that for now. Like I said, I can come back and change all of this later. Make all of these folders for whatever. Man, that dog is pissing me off. What was I doing? Apex. Again, same thing. Army, Marine Corps, Navy, Air Force, and Strategic Intelligence. Strategic Intelligence. Maybe just call it Strategic Intelligence. Lodestone, what should they be? I'll come up with like if they have an army or a navy or something later. That's not really necessary right now. Oh, I'm sorry, am I boring you? My cat's over there moaning. Characters, factions, locations. I'm actually star systems. Soul, which obviously has Earth and stuff. Oh, geez, you want out, really? Hold on. Yeah. Bye-bye. Okay, now, I don't know what soul means. I think soul means, probably some Roman word I'm not comprehending right now. But what I've decided to do is, in this universe, I'm going to give these star systems the names of famous explorers, either real, like actual in real life explorers like Magellan, like his name was Ferdinand Magellan, or fictional ones like Grayson or something like that. Just some. That's just the name I pulled out of the air. In fact, I'm gonna do that. I like actually that name. That sound of that name. The Grayson system. A couple of them that I already have come up with. Oh, I can't see. Rossetti and Magellan. Oops, that needs to be capitalized. Magellan. I'm going to keep these in alphabetical order just to... sorry, just to... keep it organized. Grayson. Or actually, I should say... I'm going to come up with... like the order of the planets. That will be like Earth, and then Mars, Rossetti. The naming of the planets I'm going to keep in line with, I think, what I believe is real-life naming conventions for planets. Planets are named after Roman deities. Uh, I'm not sure if Earth is a Roman deity, but Mars, Jupiter, Neptune, those are all Roman deities. I forget what Latona is, or Latona. I forget what he or she is the deity of, but that's in the Rossetti system. Some of these things I borrowed again from Unity. Magellan, uh, Nereo, Nereo. Not sure how to pronounce it exactly, but and here's a name I came up with just for fun. I actually looked this up. Fornax. Actually, right now I can't remember what he's the deity of, but that is actually a Roman deity, and he sounds like some kind of really disturbing god, but he's actually I'm just gonna go ahead and look that up right here. Fornax. Looking it up. Fornax mythology. Fornax was the divine personification of the oven. Oh, her festival. Huh. Uh, huh. The deity of the oven. But I just thought that was fun. That one, that one, that one, that one. Oh no, I don't think those need to be folders. Actually, I was gonna make those folders. I don't think they need to be though. I'll come up with these as they are needed. Uh, ba, 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 ba. Sorry. Now, what am I missing? Something that does occur to me, actually. Alliance. Well, these are carriers, like the type of ships. Destroyers, obviously. Cruisers. And frigates. There's not much need for submarines in space. You know, you can't really have a ship like that in space. Oops. Oh, nope, don't. Almost deleted them out of habit. I'm used to doing that. I'm just gonna come up with some fun, uh, stuff. And you know what? This just occurred to me. Come up with different ships in a class, like what was it? Oh, what was it? Man, Is that how you spell Manuel? Yeah. I am misspelling it. Manuel G. Locke. Manuel Locke. Class. And I'll come up with, you know, maybe more in the future. Obviously, there is the ship, Manuel G. Locke, lead ship of her class. Manuel G. Locke. Hold on! Give me 1 second. I'm broadcasting. Sorry about that. That was my, whatever. Doesn't matter. Manuel G. Locke, as... just gonna come up with a couple of these. I have a name generator here. Oh, text. Huh. Cool. That's one of my, that's one of my, friends going, so, whatever, it doesn't matter. Okay. Okay. Just gonna come up with the first, or use the first name it gives me. Alright. Oops. Curtis A. Chapa. Curtis A. Chapa. Let me... Wait, what? My scrivener already knows the word Chapa and Chappas? What the fuck have I been writing? Anyway. Curtis A. Chapa. One more. And... if my thing already knows Chapa, I'm not gonna worry about this fake name generator. What should I call this one? Lucas. I don't like that name, Brant. People may trip over it. The way it's spelled, people may trip over it. Lucas J. Cartwright. I mean, like there's a way to spell this name. Yucky with a W. I had a feeling it was going to be with a W. Okay, that'll do for now with carriers. Now for destroyers. I'm keeping more or less the same naming conventions for these ships as real-life Navy, because, or at least American Navy, because, like, as cool as some of the names in, like, Halo sound, there's, like, a real military would never call a ship Pillar of Autumn. You know, what even is a Pillar of Autumn? Or a pillar of any season, you know, or like, in amber clad. There's a couple of ships named, there's a cruiser I know of in Halo called Say My Name. I guess the developers just had fun with that. But, I'm going to name these things that real militaries would call them. Or yeah, maybe not the same naming conventions, but like things that are relevant. You know, things that an actual military person was like, yes, that's a good name for a destroyer or a frigate or something. Thomas. No. I have an idea. How about battles for destroyers? I don't think destroyers are named after battles in American Navy, but I can do whatever I want, and you can't stop me. But destroyers. Hmm. Um. Let's see. Battle of Atlanta. Like Atlanta. No. Battle of New Atlanta. Like on some other planet, or maybe even like a fictional city. I like that. New Atlanta, or something I just remembered I'm not doing. Coalition, alliance. I just realized why I can't call them an alliance. For now, I am going to stick with coalition. Why not? I just realized why I can't call them alliance. Coalition. Coalition of Earth Nations. Weapons, technology, ships. I think that's everything. No, it's not everything. Coalition. Alright. Oh, I forgot classes, like, New Atlanta class. Making several mistakes here. Whoop. Coalition Navy ship. Manuel G. Locke. Lots of C's here. I just realized. CNS Curtis A. Chapa. CNS Lucas J. Cartwright. No, not SNC. CNS. CNS New Atlanta. CNS. Just for fun, I'm gonna give no, or I can do that with another ship, but for now I'm gonna give this one another name. Oh yeah, like a place. Um, this is just a name that comes to mind. Freedom Bay. CNS Freedom Bay. I'll come back to destroyers in a minute. I want to get this first. What should the name of this class be? Charles N. Oops. Stevens. Charles N. Stevens class. Now the reason I did this, the reason I did that is because, just for fun, this ship will be named CNS Charles N. Stevens. Now the reason I did that, CNS CNS. Well, I just did that for fun. Big deal. But CNS Charles. Oh, why do I keep doing that? Charles and Stevens. Yeah, the CNS. Hold on. Feels like there's like a bug or something up my pants sleeve. Cruisers are named. I'm gonna keep named after. Actually, you know what? Maybe even just put that as a carrier. Gonna rename this then, because Charles N. Stevens. Even in modern military, American military, you name you name carriers with the first, middle initial, and last names of a person. That's how modern carriers do it. I'll keep that there. Cruisers, you just use the first and last name, no middle initial. So cruisers, Jacob, Jacob Fallon. Okay, I can do that. Jacob Fallon class. CNS Jacob Fallon. Not to be confused with Jimmy Fallon. CNS Jacob Fallon. What should frigates be named after? Okay, so we have pretty much, presidents or other politicians, political government leaders, places of historic battles. I'm going to say that cruisers are named after military heroes. Um, hmm. What should frigates be named for? Maybe something like, maybe I can do a little bit of something like Halo, like Prosperity. Oops, not Prosperity. Prosperity class. CNS Prosperity. And another one would be CNS Endeavor. Like not a person or a place or anything, just concepts. Endeavor. CNS Champion. Alright, I can live with that. Jeez. I'll come up with Apex ships later. Now for some characters. Well, it'll probably be helpful to have a story first. I'll probably leave this as is. I'm going to end this broadcast, so it will be one video, and then I'll get to like plotting out a book. So I'll probably be streaming again in like 2 minutes. Alright.